Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you tuned in back. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I appreciate those who have done that, who share, who like the videos. But the analytics show that there are so many people that view, but they are not subscribing. Please subscribe. It helps. It really helps. It helps rating my channel in so many other ways. So thank you in advance for doing that. So today I want to talk about how to identify trauma response. So whether we know it or not, a lot of us have gone through trauma. I mean, you have to have gone through trauma if you've been living in this world, a world that have so many toxic people, toxic parents, toxic communities. Somewhere you were inflicted with trauma. Some of us have been inflicted more than others, obviously. But the point is, we have to deal with this trauma. Maybe when we were children, we were not able to do that because we didn't have the structure or the mechanism to do that. But now we are adults. We need to be able to deal with that so that it stops limiting us. What trauma does, it is one of those things that self-sabotage you. You want to move forward, but now you can't because your relationships are affected because of your anger outbursts, because of this and this. All the identifiers of trauma will keep you down. They'll keep pulling you down when you want to make a move forward. And that's why it's important to deal with trauma. So today I want to give you about 5 identifiers, ways to identify that you may be responding to trauma. The first one is difficult dealing with the situations. Just difficult with dealing with life, responding to situations. Even a small thing like just going through traffic, it irritates you, it gets you so winded up. In other words, you're having difficult handling situations that they are normal. Like going to a job is a normal thing. Just driving traffic is normal, right? At least where I live, it's normal. Such things, just having people giving you feedback at work is normal. Having just people not agreeing with you on social media and even in real life, it's normal. But somebody that is responding to trauma, that is major, and they don't know how to deal with that. So that is the first thing. And if you or loved one, you have difficult that, go for therapy and start also just asking yourself, why am I triggered with these small things? Why? Ask yourself questions until you find out why. You can be your own therapist with time. The other thing is that people that are responding to trauma often have anger outbursts. Now, anger outbursts is different from just having a normal anger emotion. We all get angry, to be honest, right? But the kind of anger I'm talking about is the one that does not match with the external reality or the trigger that made you get that outburst. You just, you've seen that. You know what I'm talking about. You talk to somebody, you say a simple thing and they lose it. They start throwing things at you. We've seen even people shoot others for just a small thing. It started as a small thing. And you are like, where did that, why? It doesn't match. And the reason is because they're not really responding to what just happened. They're responding to trauma. They have so much trauma, so much rage, so much fear in them, so much going inside them that when they're triggered on the inside, they just get so angry and they blow up, and it does not, match what's going on in reality. So, and the third one is mental health issues. There is a big probability that you're going to be struggling with anxiety because, again, maybe there's a lot of fear trapped in your soul. Also PTSD, is a possibility, again, because of maybe a trauma. Maybe you went through an accident. Maybe you went through, you saw somebody die, or you lost somebody, or something really traumatic happened and you didn't deal with it. That can be something that comes back to haunt you because you didn't deal with it. So now you are responding to that fear or that thing that you didn't deal with. And the other thing too is depression. So the mental illness that you're likely to go to have when you have trauma inside you is mostly anxiety, depression, and PTSD. And I'm not saying that everybody that has that, they're responding to trauma. It could be chemical imbalance. I don't know, but watch out. Look, you can investigate yourself and find out why are you having those symptoms you are having. Is it because of trauma? And you can do that by going for counseling. The other thing is that inability to make decisions. People that are going through trauma or responding to trauma, they have difficulty making decisions or just taking action. And this is because of procrastination. Now, procrastination is deeply related or rooted to fear of failure. Also, people who procrastinate, mostly they are perfectionists. So all these are hidden emotions, hidden things that you wouldn't know, but you just know that you don't like taking actions, you procrastinate, and so you don't move forward. But there are other things that are really connected to that, and deeply it's trauma. Because what's trauma? Trauma is anything that was inflicted in you, growing up. And it could be an emotional wound, but it could be something you are told. Words. You are told that you'll never amount to anything, you're always a failure, you'll never make it in life. So that, if you didn't deal with it, and most likely you didn't, because you are probably a child, didn't know how to do it. But most of the times later on, you find that you are afraid to take risks because you will fail. You are afraid to do something or take the next step because you are remembering your mom or your dad that told you you'll never succeed. So it's really hidden in the back of our subconscious, but then it really hinders us from going and moving forward. And that's what we call self-sabotage. Right. Yeah. So watch out for that. If you procrastinate, if you don't, you are having difficulty making decisions, especially. Yeah, that is could be, and most likely is, trauma response. And the last one I want to talk about is feeling guarded and irritable. Now, this is closely related to anger, but you've seen these people that are so guarded. I mean, you're even scared of talking to them because they are so guarded. They are always, it's like they will blow up any minute. They are so irritable. They are so critical. They are so judgmental. All this, somebody that is just guarded, highly guarded. And of course, this can, again, lead to mental illness, full-blown mental illness. But even as it is irritability, all the things that are keeping you guarded is because you're hurting. Most likely you're hurting on the inside. Most likely you're trying to control the inside. So because you're trying to control the inside from blowing up, so what comes out is irritability. And it's interesting. If we were to talk about some of these things, you'll be so shocked, because a lot of people's coping mechanisms are very interesting. Sometimes even sarcasm. People who like making jokes, being sarcastic. Some of them are actually, it's a trauma response. They are trying to maintain the inside. They are angry at you, or they want to tell something, and because they don't want to do that, or they're afraid to do that, then they are sarcastic. Or they just make a joke that borderlines sarcasm. But anyway, so I wanted to just talk about those 5. Think about them, and if any of them spoke to you, start working on yourself. The best thing you can do is invest in yourself, not invest in external things, because when you invest in yourself, then you are able to handle the external stuff. You are able to have good relationships. You are able to make decisions. You're able to handle your job well, your career well. So working on your internal mechanism is so important. And so comment on the video. Let me know how any other way you think you're responding to trauma. Okay, so until the next video, see you and thank you for watching.